All right, today's lesson is Module 3, Lesson 5. I want you to, in your journals, to write the date and the lesson number at the very top. Our target for today is, I can subtract fractions with unlike units using the strategy of creating equivalent fractions. We have 4 vocabulary words I want you to focus in on. The fractions we're going to be using are thirds, where you have your denominator with the 3, sixths, where the 6 in your denominator is present, and then twelfths, and you have a 12 there. Okay, so thirds, sixths, and twelfths. And then we're going to be using equivalent units as our previous lessons taught us, where you're going to take a half and find an equivalent fraction where 1/2 and 1/3 share a similar denominator, where their units are the same. So 1/2 is going to become 3/6, and 1/3 will become 2/6. And keep in mind we are, again, subtracting fractions this unit lesson, okay? So let's go on, and here is my thinking behind 1/2 and the reasoning behind why 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6. Here, off to the side, I want to show you kind of what happens. 1/2 is multiplied by 3/3, and that is how we get 3/6. Okay? This number right here. And 1/3 is multiplied by the factor 2. 2 halves, or 2 over 2, to get 2/6, which is this number right here. Okay, keep in mind 1/2 minus 1/3 and 3/6 minus 2/6 are equivalent. They are equal, and you'll be seeing that in our lesson as we continue. Let's take a look at our next slide. We have 1/2 minus 1/3. Okay, we have gone ahead and shaded in a half, and we've shaded in 1/3. We want to convert to equivalent fractions, and so as you're drawing this in your journal, we're going to convert our half into 6 by going ahead and cutting our square into 6. So we're going to draw our 2 lines. We still have this side shaded, and so we see we have 3/6. And we're going to take our 1/3 and break it apart into 2/6 with our line down the center, and our 1/3 becomes 2/6. If we're subtracting 3/6 minus 2/6, we see that our 2 match up to these 2. We're going to subtract 2 away, and we have a remainder of 1/6. Okay, so our math kind of looks like this. 3/6 minus 2/6 equals 3 minus 2 is 1, and our 6 is still our unit that we're dealing with, okay? So our answer is 1/6, as you see right there. Our next slide works with 1/3 minus 1/4. We have 1/3 shaded in yellow and 1/4 shaded in blue. And we have our directions where we go horizontal with our 1/4 and we go vertically with our 1/3. And as we draw and convert our fractions, we also keep in mind that we know that 3 times 4 is 12, right? And so we're converting our fractions to twelfths. So let's take a look. 4/12 minus 3/12. Well, 3 fit into 3 of them. We've crossed them out, and we have 1 remaining 12th as our answer. So our math is 4/12 minus 3/12. 4 minus 3 is 1, and our denominator always stays the same when we add and subtract. we get 1/12 as our solution. Be sure to be writing your notes in your journal and you're pausing at the right time. Here's our next slide. Here we have our 1/2 vertically, and we have our 1/5 horizontally. I want you to convert to equivalent fractions by drawing 5/10 minus 2/10. We have our 5/10 right here and our 2/10 here. Be sure to pause and draw it out in your journal and go ahead and do your math. We see that 2/10 fits in right here, where 5 minus 2 leaves us with 3/10. Okay, and the math we're writing out, 5/10 minus 2/10 equals 3, similar denominator, tenths. And that's what we see remaining right here. Okay. Our final slide example. I want you to go ahead now and convert to equivalent fractions and subtract in your journals. I want you to do 1/5 minus 1/6, 1/6 minus 1/7, and 1/7 minus 1/8. And as you work out each problem, I want you to find the equivalent fraction, go ahead and draw it out, show me how you got your solution, and then I want you to double check that if you can reduce that answer, you reduce to the smallest unit possible. What does that mean? So if I had a solution of 2/4, well, that unit can go smaller. I can divide by 2, top and bottom, and get a solution of 1/2 as our reduced smallest unit solution. But that will be another lesson. I want you to also explain, if you have some time, explain what is happening to the answer in the problems above. Is there a pattern you notice with the solutions? Go ahead and write it out in your journal. Final step for today, when you're done with your problems and your problem sets, and reflect in your journal. When you reflect in your journal, ask yourself the target. I can subtract fractions with unlike units using the strategy of creating equivalent fractions. Can you do that? I can now, are you a 1, 2, 3, or 4? Right? 3 means you can do the math 100%, but you still need to work on explaining your thinking. Okay, so what can you do today? I can now, can you create equivalent fractions? Write it down in your reflection. Good job.